I am Jeff Stonic. Do you want me in camera? Okay, cool. I'm Jeff Stonic. I live in Denver. I am stand-up comedian, camera person, and I write poetry. And we're at Mutiny, and my poetry zines. I no longer call them books. If you have a poetry book and you look at my thing, you're like, that's not a book. But it's like a little zine thing, and they're all on the shelves there, and so that's why I picked this place. Do comedy here, poetry, all that stuff. Because, I'm a pretentious asshole douchebag that, no, I don't know. I like it a lot. It's, I don't really have a reason for it. I think it's got to be for a some sort of like longing or homage to like a part of media, an era of media that I wasn't even alive for, which is black and white movies and stuff like that, and black and white photography. I'm also very intrigued. I need to do more research on it, but the fact that there's like documentation that we weren't always able to see the color blue. That just wasn't in our thing, and like dogs seeing black and white, and people are colorblind, and just the fact that in a way it's not taking for what we have, which is color, for granted, and also like I don't know, it's all light and all shadow, and all we are is the light. We feed off the sun. I feed off the sun. So I like just like showcasing the light. Yeah. Really doing it was like last year, August, September. Don't want to touch the mic. So I had a camera, and I was always using it for video work, and mostly video work, like sketches, stuff like that. And having done comedy at that time for about like 4.5 years, and also being self-employed, self-motivated, getting gigs here and there to pay my bills, I was like, I have a camera, and I'm at places all the time that like photos, and that need photos, and so why don't I try to really learn the settings of the camera that I got and try to do photography, and eventually work that into the fold as like another way to make money doing what I'm already doing, and that's fortunately happened. I've always liked. I didn't really watch a lot of stand-up comedy growing up. I didn't really have it like in my peripheral or in the orbit of thought, like as a thing that people did. I always watched Saturday Night Live a lot in high school, because me and like my three friends were like the few kids in high school that didn't really drink, and we were going to bed at a decent hour on a Saturday night to wake up for choir on Sunday morning, and so we watched Saturday Night Live, and so I always watched that, and then friends signed me up for improv class right after college. And through that, met stand-up comedians, and I liked them. And I liked what they did. I was like, that's cool, just doing what they're doing, rather than all six of us up here doing make-believe. And so, when I started, and then the improv troupe kind of dissipated, stand-up's been the go-to, the thing that I like the most. Not in like improv classes or improv like that. A lot of those tools translate to the stage as a stand-up comic, and so there's still like improvisational tools and moments on stage that I'm definitely I navigate with easier having done improv. I'd heard it was a good place when I started comedy and went to school in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Heard this was a good town. And so when it came time to decide to like move to Chicago or Boston or whatever, I knew this wasn't New York or LA, so I wanted to go to like just below there to get somewhere I can like feel a little more comfortable, I can get good at it. And yeah, there's I didn't know anybody here, so I just moved out here, and so there's like no distraction. I knew at the time how easy it would be for me to say yes if I was in Chicago and my buddy Jackson was like, hey, we're watching Tim and Eric tonight and smoking weed. Do you want to come over? And I would say yes because it's so much fun, and that's what we did for years. But I didn't want that option on the table, so I moved here. Heard it was a good comedy scene, and that's been true. Pre-pandemic, I was doing like 12 to 15 mics a week, and now there's still probably that. I could do the math. You could probably get that. If you really hustle, you can get 12 mics a week at least. It's a lot though. Probably probably editing video. I'm pretty confident editing video. When I'm on the screen and I'm like, because I'm starting to make reels for a lot of different shows or because they see what I can do, and I really like editing. Editing video is the only thing that I'll lose track of time. Like if I was in a windowless room, I could just, and there's no clock, I could just edit it, and it could be 12 or not 12 hours obviously, but a lot of time could pass, and it's so much fun to like put this clip here over this, and then put that audio under there, and then the joke, and then it lines up to sort of like a punchline or just a juxtaposition or anything like that. I think there, yeah. Not like the grasping of it or like the reaching it. I think fame is important in the fact that like the way it can impact an ego, and I definitely think when I started being a creative, it was like, yeah, I want to fucking like walk out, it's like step out of a car and people like, oh shit, like that, because you admire that. Our culture, we love that shit. But now it seems awful. I love a lot of what we do, what I do as a creative is like observation and wallflowering, whether it's like with like street photography or poetry. You want to sit and be still and just observe, and I think fame would compromise that the ability to be in that space. Yeah. That I've worked with, certainly. David Brooks in Indianapolis. He's my he's a best friend kind of thing, and he's done comedy a little longer than me. He's a little older than me, but he comes out here, I go out there, and he's great. Other ones, a local guy named Derek Stroop is killing it. Like he moved here a couple of years ago, and he's from like Alabama, and so you put that perspective in the midst of Denver. It's and then the beautiful anger behind his comedy. It's so much fun. Frustration, he's opening for like Bert Kreischer in arenas, and he like in the matter of a few years. And I think I heard he was gonna film a late night spot too. So he's blown up. And I work with him in the fact that like sometimes I'll take photos for him, and I watch his cat. If him and his girlfriend are out of town, I'll feed Jameson and send him pictures of Jameson because he fucking loves that cat. I think those two probably are my go-to answers. Because it's a 5-minute walk from my house, and it was convenient. No. I love it. It is, so like where we're sitting right now, there's a High Plains Comedy Festival every year, and this is where the after party is. And so my first year as a volunteer, first year for volunteer was my first year in Denver. It was my second time volunteering, right after the pandemic. And I was volunteering, and volunteers don't get into the after party, but Nick Dean put me on I was his plus one, he got me in. It was a fucking blast. And so Cypher Sounds was DJing right here, and we were all just dancing there till 3 in the morning. I loved that. And so all the books, the energy here, the way these people support local artists is amazing. So there's open mic here every Tuesday. There's Jim's the owner. The comic book curator's named Jeff, but you could call him the professor. There's a cat. They support the local zine section's great, and so I bring in about 6 books a week, and they're selling well because they set up the local artist place, like the placement of our books and our zines, to be in front of the consumer right when they walk in the door, and it sells well. And so them saying, yes, I'll buy your poetry books, that'll be like now 16 months ago when I first made a zine. It was so validating and so encouraging as someone stepping into that space for the first time, saying, I have little poems and I want to write them and sell them, and I think they're good. And they encourage that and continue to, for over a year and a half, almost a year and a half now. So today, it's photography, and I think it'll always continue to shift in seasons. And from when I started poetry, it was that for a long time, and then comedy kind of came back, and then comedy, I was like, I get no joy out of it, or there was just nothing new coming with it. And when I started photography, I've kind of fell back in love with poetry, but now photography's been the thing that if I'm not working on something that I need to get done, like a to-do list item, I'm going to watch YouTube videos on photography and trying to learn and stuff like that. And so it's just where the curiosity is leading, where the most joy is found right now, and it'll all come back around to comedy and to poetry and all that shit in time. Big plans? No. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Right now, I'm in the process of I haven't had the day job. It's kind of been just seeking out income here and there through gigs for 18 months now, and I'm in the part of I'm in the foundation lane to do that for the rest of my career, hopefully. And so that means just figuring out how to. I just registered as an LLC. I have business insurance. I have all these little things that I don't have the mind for, but I gotta dedicate time towards. And so that's what that is. Just kind of doing what makes me happy every day. And got some travel plans, but otherwise it's nothing major. Yeah. It protects myself and my equipment and the performers on my shows or whatever, just from being jeopardized if someone sued or someone got hurt. It's a great question. It was something I was told I needed. That's basically what an LLC is to me. But you register with the state, and it's a way to do taxes and pay yourself and pay your people around you. And I should have a better answer to that. Just Jeff Stonic, LLC.
Nice.
I think so. Yeah.
Tax write-off.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Stop by Mutiny if you're in Denver on the South Broadway corridor. Come to Mutiny. But no, I love this place. The fun thing is last year, we got this massive donation of old Playboys, and I think there's still some in there, maybe up in there, But the old Playboys, like resale value of those, I think, I can't remember the exact. I think it paid like for 1 or 2 months of rent here. Like it was a big payday for them just getting old magazines.
That's wild.